The 5 foods I kept eating despite knowing better finally caught up with me last year, and understanding why they're harmful changed everything about my grocery shopping. My annual physical revealed elevated inflammation markers and blood pressure creeping into pre-hypertension range. Nothing critical, but trending wrong. My doctor asked me to keep a food diary for 2 weeks, and seeing my actual eating patterns on paper was uncomfortable. Here's what I discovered about foods I was consuming regularly without realizing their cumulative impact. Processed meats topped the list of foods I needed to reconsider. Bacon at breakfast, deli turkey for lunch, pepperoni on pizza, these appeared in my diet 3 to 4 times weekly. The World Health Organization classifies processed meats as Group 1 carcinogens, meaning sufficient evidence links them to increased cancer risk, specifically colorectal cancer. The preservation process creates the problem. Sodium nitrites used to cure these meats form compounds called nitrosamines when exposed to high heat or stomach acid. Research in the British Medical Journal found that eating 50 grams of processed meat daily, roughly 2 slices of bacon, increases colorectal cancer risk by 18%. I didn't want to believe it at first. Bacon tastes amazing, and those convenient turkey slices made lunch effortless. But the evidence was clear enough that I couldn't ignore it anymore. I reduced processed meat to once weekly maximum, finding other protein sources that didn't come with the same health risks. Sugar-sweetened beverages were my second big problem. I wasn't drinking soda, so I thought I was fine. Wrong. My daily bottled iced tea contained 30 grams of sugar per bottle. The fruit smoothies I bought thinking they were healthy had even more, sometimes 50 grams from added sugars beyond the natural fruit sugars. Liquid sugar hits your system differently than sugar in solid food. Without fiber to slow absorption, your blood sugar spikes rapidly, forcing your pancreas to release large amounts of insulin. Over years, this pattern contributes to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. A study in Circulation found that people consuming 1 to 2 sugar-sweetened drinks daily have a 26% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Switching to unsweetened beverages felt impossible initially. Everything tasted bland and boring. I gradually reduced the sweetness by mixing half-sweetened and half-unsweetened versions, slowly adjusting my taste preferences over 6 weeks. Now overly sweet drinks taste cloying and unpleasant to me. Refined grain products formed the foundation of too many meals. White bread, regular pasta, white rice, crackers, these blood sugar spiking foods appeared at nearly every meal. The refining process strips away fiber, vitamins, and minerals, leaving primarily starch that converts rapidly to glucose. The connection between refined grains and health problems shows up consistently in research. According to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, high refined grain consumption correlates with increased inflammation, higher triglycerides, and greater visceral fat accumulation compared to whole grain consumption. I replaced refined grains gradually rather than all at once. Whole wheat bread instead of white bread first week. Brown rice instead of white rice second week. Whole grain pasta third week. This gradual approach prevented feeling deprived while allowing my taste buds to adjust to different textures and flavors. Deep-fried foods were harder to give up than I expected. French fries, fried chicken, donuts, these appeared in my diet weekly. The high-temperature frying process creates trans fats even in oils that start out healthy and generates compounds called advanced glycation end products that accelerate aging and inflammation throughout your body. Restaurants reuse frying oil multiple times, degrading it further and increasing harmful compound formation. That crispy, delicious coating comes with oxidized fats that promote inflammation and cardiovascular disease. Research in the Benji found that eating fried food daily increases heart disease risk by 14% compared to eating it less than once weekly. I didn't eliminate fried foods completely, that felt too restrictive. Instead, I limited them to twice monthly and started making oven-roasted alternatives at home. Tossing vegetables or chicken in small amounts of oil and roasting at high heat creates satisfying crispness without the deep frying downsides. Ultra-processed snack foods filled my pantry and my afternoons. Chips, cookies, packaged crackers, granola bars with more sugar than actual granola. These foods are engineered specifically to override your natural satiety signals, making you eat more than you intended or needed.